Hi, welcome to Country Carnivore. Today we're going to make carnivore buns. So why would you make carnivore buns? I actually wanted to learn how to make these because I got tired of just holding hamburger patties and I really didn't like eating them with a fork. So I really missed having the hamburger experience with the bun. And then I found that these actually work really well with Eggs Benedict as your, English muffin. So I like them for that as well. So let's go ahead and get started here. This is easy. It's only 4 ingredients. It's really about technique, which is why I'm doing a video rather than, like a short. So the ingredients are 4 eggs, and you're going to separate those eggs. So you're going to end up whipping the whites and just separating out the yolks. We'll get back to that in a second. The next ingredient you will need is 2.5 tablespoons of mascarpone. Mascarpone. I don't know how to pronounce this. Looks like NASCAR to me. So 2.5 tablespoons of this. And with this, you're going to need 1/2 of a teaspoon of baking powder. And then just 2 teaspoons of gelatin. So really simple, really straightforward. Again, I've already measured out the baking soda and the gelatin. So I'm just going to put it in with my egg whites, which I've already separated out. And then I'm going to blend them for about 6 minutes on high until they start to peak. In the meantime, you'll mix your egg yolks with the 2.5 tablespoons of this cheese. And you're going to mix it together just by hand. It can be a little bit lumpy. It's fine. Don't worry about it. And you're going to preheat your oven to 350. So I'll get all this going. Once these are peaked, we'll come back and we'll go from there. Okay, so the mixture of gelatin, baking powder, and egg whites is all done. These are nice and firm, so these are ready to go. So at this point, I'll be taking the cheese egg yolk mixture and I'll be folding it into the egg whites. And I want to be careful while I'm doing this to not you don't want to stir this up. You want to fold them in because the whole idea here is that all this nice air that we've got fluffed up in these egg whites, we want to keep that. So this is what's going to give it that kind of like bready, airy texture. So I just want to make sure I'm very careful folding these in. All right. I'm just going to keep an eye on here. I'm just very lightly folding this in. Okay. And you'll see it get nicely mixed, but not too much deflation. All right, and now I'm ready to go ahead and put these into the molds. Okay, I've got my molds. So these molds actually I got from Amazon, and I'll go ahead and link. I'll link to the molds below, but they're silicone molds. These are 4 inches. I think they're called like pancake or muffin top. Anyway, I'll link. But these are really nice because they do shrink up a little bit. They make a really nice size for your hamburger bun. And again, they make a really nice base for an Eggs Benedict. So all you're going to do is actually have 2 of these. I think they come in a 2-pack. I'll go ahead and divvy this up between all 12. And then I'm going to bake these on 350 for 20 minutes. And then I'm going to let it just sit for 30 minutes without opening the oven. Just turn off the heat and let it sit. Okay, so these are ready to go into the oven. You can see, I wasn't perfect about getting them in there. You kind of have to plop the stuff in and then push it down a little bit. But again, you don't want to deflate them. So they will expand. So they don't look great going in, but they're going to be delicious coming out. So again, we're putting these in for 20 minutes and then turn off the oven and do not open it for 30. All right, so our buns are all done. I just want to show you up close what they look like. So this is how they came out. And I'll just show you, they're just this light little bun. They're not that poofy. I guess I could have done like, I don't know, 12 or 6 instead of 12, and then they'd be a little bit thicker. But I really like these. They're nice and light, and they're just great, like I said, for like a hamburger bun. I'm really close here. So the other thing is that they freeze really well. So I make up a bunch of these, and I just throw them in the freezer, and then I warm them up on the grill when I'm making hamburger patties. Or like I said, for Eggs Benedict, I can just throw them in the oven for a second, warm them right up, right? They're so small, and just like bread, they warm up really well. So I like these. I like to have them on hand, and they're just light and crispy. So it's a nice treat, especially on a carnivore diet. We don't get a lot of crunch, and we really don't get anything that feels like bread, and it's a nice substitute. So I hope you try them out. I hope you enjoy them. Thanks for coming to the Country Carnivore. Bye.